ask you this. Are you drinking because you're lonely, or are you lonely because you're drinking? Doesn't really matter, because connection is the solution to both scenarios. Let's talk about it. Hey, I'm Marjorie, and I quit a 25-year relationship to alcohol and discovered a juicier life was waiting for me. Stick around. I'll show you how to find yours. Is that nightly glass of wine, that nightly bottle of wine, a quick fix for loneliness? Let's dive into this question and also talk about nurturing real connections while we're living alcohol free, because it is possible. And the most important aspect of connection is our connection to ourselves. When you think of spending time alone, does that make you excited or does it make you sad? For some, it's like a mini vacation. For others, it's a bit of a struggle, right? We all need that downtime to switch off from the chaos and tune into ourselves, even if it's just to hear our own thoughts over the noise of everyday life. But that's really hard for some of us, to be alone with our thoughts. And then there's that social dread. Do you ever feel like you're forcing yourself in social situations, so then you just opt not to go at all? Are you one of those, I want to be invited, even though I'm not going to go people? I remember reading somewhere that being shy is like keeping the best part of yourself a secret. I think of myself as an extroverted introvert. I recharge on my own, but I do get a kick out of connecting with other people, even if it's just a quick chat in a checkout line. It's about finding that balance while still feeling plugged into that energy of the universe. So, one of the keys is to create intentional connection. And the first goal is to become the best version of you, become the best version of ourselves. And that's a great start, but it's not enough. The goal then becomes to be the best version we can be, but it includes the health and well-being of others, becoming the best we can be to each other and for each other. Can you imagine? And it's simple. It's just being open, because there's so much power in sharing our stories and experiences. Each of us has very unique life experiences and very unique life wisdom. And just sharing that, isn't that a beautiful way to connect? Your story and your insights and your experiences and your perseverance, it's invaluable. And by opening up, it's a way of serving. We not only help somebody else, but we enrich our own lives. The challenge, though, for all of us is in making the effort and allowing the time and space for that to happen, especially when we find ourselves in midlife without as many friends as we used to have, or without connections. I always worry about those two extremes, those people that have a ton of people around them, but they feel lonely. And then that group that is 100% alone and they feel isolated. Make your goal to be somewhere in the middle. Let's aim for that sweet spot of connection, but also being okay to be alone and be by ourselves, because being alone and being lonely are wildly different. And loneliness isn't due to a lack of acquaintances or friends or contacts. Loneliness is caused by a lack of feeling connected to others. And there's a ton of science behind the effects, the negative toll that loneliness takes on our mental health and our physical health. And a lot of people who drink, especially women in midlife, tend to isolate more and more, because then there's the shame element, there's the embarrassment element, the lack of energy element. So we've got to find that balance of being connected and then having healthy habits when we're alone. Because loneliness is not just a case of the blues. It affects us physiologically. And even if you have a bunch of friends, loneliness is just the feeling that people don't understand you. Who in your friend group can you have deep, authentic conversations with? Can you be vulnerable with? A lot of us have surface friends, but we don't feel like people truly understand us. But the good news is, when we work and intentionally deepen our relationships, we become more resilient in every aspect of our lives. So ask yourself these questions. Who in my life is holding me back from becoming my best self? Who wants you to stay in your comfort zone, even if that's not working for you? Who is that? Who do you need to ask for help? Where are you lacking? Is it your daily routine? Is it your mental health? Do you need somebody to kickstart your workout program? Do you need to find a passion or a hobby or some kind of side hustle to reinvigorate a creative spark? What's missing? Do you need that spiritual element? What is missing? Who do you need to ask for help? And then again, do you have any honest voices in your life? Maybe it's a mentor or a coach or a hero or a family member or a doctor. Do you have any honest voices that'll tell you like it is, tough love in your life? You are built for relationships. And alcohol puts a wall between you and other people because you're not your authentic self when you're buzzed or zoned out or numbed. You have a calling on your life and a role to play within your family, your job, your community, your church, your social circle, your neighborhood. You have a role to play. Define who and what you're fighting for and who's fighting for you. Make sure the people in your circle are also in your corner. And the easiest way to get started is to go serve. Put the emphasis on somebody else. Who needs me? Where can I be of service? How can I help? Just take the emphasis off of you and put it on somebody else. That's the easiest way to kickstart and get started. I guarantee it'll surprise you with how good it feels. And the other good thing about building connection with others and with ourselves, it allows you to be authentic. Man, as we get older, we realize how freeing that is just to be our authentic selves. We have the confidence to be who we truly are because we start to get clarity on what really matters in our lives. And it's not about any kind of hustle or grind. It's about finding that sweet spot where you're not stuck reliving the past, wishing you could do things, make different choices, or worrying about the future. But instead, you're present and you're excited and happy about today, being 100% present in the moment every single day. And none of that can be done if you're drinking every day. But you know that. You're not alone in this. And if you've ever thought, am I the only person who feels this way? I promise you're not. Let's figure this out together.